beginning when he was Hippy Dippy Weatherman, for Saturday Night Live, before he became what he became, he was trying to be a comedian, but he saw the hypocrisy in all of it, and then that's what his skits became about.
Absolutely.
The hypocrisy of it all.
Yeah, and he just said, fuck it, and he just went AWOL on everything, and he said, I'm just going to tell the truth about everything I see. I'm surprised they didn't take him out earlier, but goddamn, George Carlin was a...
Well, it would have been, yeah, dude, because he was the, what do they consider it, plausible deniability? He was what, people were thinking, but they had control of the media, so... they outran his hypocrisy.
It's like the Alex Jones meme, Alex Jones was right. No, George Carlin was fucking right. George Carlin was right long before Alex Jones was right. George Carlin knew what the fuck was going on. He told us all, you're not shit. They don't care about you. You're not part of the fucking corrupts, the corruptionary or whatever, the ruling class. You're just a peon, but man, that guy, he was funny as fuck. I miss him to this day, and I've turned so many, even so many of my students and they don't understand irony, but oh my God, George Carlin! I just miss him. I just miss him a lot. I think
I gotta know what do you teach that you influence young minds?
I teach adults. I teach CEOs of corporations and Samsung. I don't teach.
Do what?
I teach communication skills and computer and AI and whatever. Whatever they ask me to do, I do.
What are you, Dale Carnegie of 2025? How to
no, I just showed up
and make friends?
No, yeah, exactly. I just showed up here a long time ago, and I made good connections with good people, and they're like, hey, this guy, and so, yeah, I just get paid to hang out and talk with people. I'm not getting paid to hang out and talk to you, though, bitch.
Yeah, well, it sounds like I'm smarter than you, so it sounds like you should be paying me.
Well, why would you come to that conclusion?
Because you sound obtuse and obstinate.
In what way?
The fact that you're not willing to listen to another person's perspective rather than your own.
I've listened to everything that you've said. Why would you say something like that?
What did I say? What did I say takes us further away from the truth is?
I'm completely open to any information you have to impart.
I've already said this. Like I said, you're not listening. You're just talking. You have two mouths and one ear.
So make your point.
The more you talk, the further away from the truth you get.
But you didn't tell me anything I didn't already know.
Why didn't you repeat back what I'd already said?
Because you didn't give me any new information.
Because you didn't listen to the old information.
No, I already knew the old. I want you to tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know.
You want me to teach you how to make cornbread in a cast iron skillet?
Why not?
What fucking information do you fucking want?
I'm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white boy from Utah. I have friends of mine who have family 7 years worth of.
I don't give a fuck about the Mormons. They can keep their happy ass in Utah.
I know how to make fucking sour bread. Okay, this is not a fucking big deal, bro. If you think that's something fucking special, then
bro, I know how to make raisin. I know how to make raisin bread.
You're special. Okay. So
What you want? Cinnamon raisin bread.
You think
That beats the fuck out of sour bread. You could take that with your butter, stick it up your
I
tailpipe.
gotta tell you something. Even if you win,
Clog that motherfucker. Make that motherfucker flood out.
even if you win the
That's what your brain sounds like right now.
You're retarded. You're still retarded. You haven't taught me anything I don't already know. You haven't enlightened me in any way, and I don't think that you can, even though you're probably going to continue to try. But go ahead.
Enlighten you? Everything I would talk about would be an enlightenment to you.
No, you haven't taught me anything yet.
You want me to teach you how to grow squash?
Why would I want to grow squash? I grow weed
because you can trade it. You can trade it with your neighbor who has chickens and get eggs
for $10,000 a month. Why would I care about squash when I'm already growing fucking weed? Come on, my last name is Fulmer. I come from Scandinavia. My DNA. I am a farmer. You want to talk to me about farming, bitch? Come on, tell me something fucking real. This is crazy.
I have a 50-acre field behind my house.
Seeds in the dirt with water and sunlight, and you think that you know something special? Bro, you are more retarded.
I am
but
special.
Whatever, go ahead, tell me something.
What is your nitrates in your ground when you plant?
Oh, fuck. Who gives a fuck?
What is your nitrate count in your ground when you plant?
And what's your O2 levels as well? Are you testing for pH?
You're not even listening to anything I'm saying.
Do you have a pH soil tester?
Of course, I run all of that shit through fucking, equipment where I have.
What is the CO2 in the environment? Because the CO2 needs the ventilation.
Fucking dumbass shit to me.
Really? You're talking to people that are older than you.
How old are you?
A lot fucking older than you.
How old?
You sound like you're 35.
I'm 58. I'm 58 years old. I've lived 30 years of my life outside of the United States. I've grown weed everywhere I've gone and made my side job. But bro, I'm almost 60, and you think you're fucking smarter than me? How old are you? Tell me, how old are you?
I'm 50.
50 what?
50.
50 what, bitch? I'm 57.
I'm 50.
You're 50. Oh, okay, little brother.
Yeah, the sad part is I can still whip your fucking teeth off.
Asia, and you act like
I can still, in a fist fight, whip your teeth off.
I'm 7 fucking years older than you. I have 3 degrees. I've lived in 5
I have 3 degrees also.
I speak 4 different languages.
I can get 111 languages.
Smarter than me? Oh my God, bro. Can you just calm down? Can you just stop pretending like...
I was in the Army. Trust me, I've been around the world. I can get 111 languages.
Look, when you say I was in the Army, the minute you say I was in the military, I discount you completely. I live around military people in South Korea. You bitches thrive off that fucking false honor.
Hey, John, you're a bitch.
Military. Oh, I was in the military. I'm special because I was in whatever branches of the armed forces. Fuck you. I lived in this country for all the years without any help.
Hey, this is your girlfriend, John, not mine.
You're a pussy ass bitch who could.
That's why his hair's so long. He identifies as a bitch.
You could not live in this country for 1 year without the help of the U.S. government. I've done it.
What country is that?
When you get ready,
what country?
To be a real fucking man.
What country?
You did it. South.
What country?
Korea. South Korea.
Dude, I was at Camp Shelby.
What camp you were at? I lived here around all you bitches.
I was in the military.
I don't give a fuck if you were in the military. You sucked off the fucking tent. You needed the military to help you. You needed the U.S. government to help you. I lived here by myself. No help.
Why does he sound like Gio know without the
No
testosterone.
help. No help. Nobody helped me. Everybody helped. Oh, well, get your goddamn passport. We'll do that. No, you come and live in a country like this with no help, and then come back and talk to me.
Da, da, da,
You're
da.
a fuck.
Bitch, better get my
I gotta
money
go. My
right.
dad's calling me.
Dun, 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 dun.
This motherfucker talking some bullshit.
Is he finished?
Like, he got something to say. I wish a motherfucker would.
I don't know. He kind of reminds me of you, actually, but like the civilian version. It's true.
I ain't mad at you. Dude, Keegan's got a room going on right now. It's called like is like, you know, black fatigue a real thing or some shit like that. And dude, everybody that's in there is like black, telling like white people, there's no fatigue. We're not like, but everybody that's talking is black. And I'm like Keegan, like, you got a room full of black people telling white people what the fatigue is.
He's an idiot, Keegan.
Oh, dude, he's a fucktard. Yeah, but how goes the campaign though? For real, I was actually being sincere
Yeah.
about your points in the NDAA. I was like, you know, honestly, you know, intrigued.
Yeah, I am. Everything has been rebranded. All of my social media stuff to Republican, and I'm attacking the incumbent Darren LaHood every day. I'm screenshotting his stuff. I'm filming his stuff. I'm editing his stuff, and it's getting views. So we'll see how it goes. I just need the good people of Rockford and Peoria, Illinois, to know that this guy is just another rhino and a big spender, and there's lots of evidence to support that. So if they're smart, they won't keep voting for people that want to destroy them. They'll vote for people that want to liberate them. But we'll see if the goodwill of the voters turn out during the primary.
Well, I almost wish that I was closer to you so I could fucking like campaign for you, because I'm a door knocker.
No, I need your testimonial as a Purple Heart veteran endorsing me.
Well, you know, I have 3, you know, DUIs, so that's the only thing that'll ever come up against me.
Who cares?
So,
Lots of people have DUIs. That's just a lawyer game for $10,000. You never killed anybody.
well, I mean, no, I never even got in a wreck since I was 18. You know, but knock on wood. But like straight up, like seriously. I mean, if you want me to like give you, I won't even use AI. I will actually be articulate and sincere with whatever you want me to confess. I've known you long enough to know that you're a dickbag. But you know what? A politician needs to be one.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah.
Country is broke. Literally broke. I mean, it's broke in the sense that, yes, we can keep creating fake money, but the truth is, if we had any morals or integrity, we would stop creating fake money. And, you know, it's the worst thing is everybody's a hypocrite because we're all living off of borrowed money. And so the Federal Reserve and Congress have a major problem.
And time. Borrowed money and time.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put on a uniform or like a dress shirt and put on your Purple Heart and just shoot a straight from the gut, honest testimonial about John Kitover, I mean, I'll publish it. I need testimonials. Testimonials are what sells products, and that's what sells politicians. Just, you know, go out for a nice jog, get some sun, take a hot shower, clean yourself up, put on a collared shirt, and just set up your phone in front of you and then just shoot like a 60-second.
If I do it, it'll be Southern Boy style.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
It'll be sincere. It'll be sincere as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, just explain the problem and explain
I
why.
just got to get my buddy. Next time my buddy comes over, I'll get him to run a video on my phone, and then I'll just message you the video.
Yeah, let's do that.
But it's gonna be essentially me walking around my property with my dogs, and like, this is what I've been able to do. With never doing a whole lot of anything, but I was always able to save. And like, John Kitover wants to save the people of, Chicago. The idea of being able to afford their own place without having to live with their mom. Like, I'll throw a little bit of like funky internet jabs in there, but I won't be obtuse to the point. And when I do it, I'll actually write it down and make it scripted.
You could do like a 60 see, most people drop off after the first literally like 7 seconds, but if you could shoot like a 60-second and then a 10-minute a longer form one for the people who actually want to watch it. That's the way I've seen it, because like I filmed this thing about this GOP guy here, and the short one gets the views.
If you want me to talk about you in a limelight, I don't have a problem with that. I've known you long enough to know that, as much of an asshole you are, you still care more for everybody else than you do for yourself.
Yeah, that's what Confucius says. I mean, I made some big mistakes in my life, but I feel like this is part of the plan. Even if it's a failed attempt, it's still redeemable.
Confucius said, "Man that goes to bed with itchy butt, wake up with stinky finger."
Yeah, I was reading Confucius, and it's pretty amazing. I gotta say, it's like all these military officers. Fuck, man, people's education is really limited in scope, and really the ethics and morals component of education is very difficult because it's so boring. Most teachers probably don't want to teach it, but if I could go back to the Citadel and teach anything, it would be, moral philosophy, essentially. Because that's what makes a gentleman. See, that's what that guy Scotty doesn't understand, is he's ripping on you for being in the military, but he doesn't understand what a gentleman is. Like, he's no gentleman. So if you want to be a refined person, the military can do that for you, because you really do learn customs and procedure and how to be a gentleman.
I mean, if you were the officer and you were walking slower than me and I was walking fast, I would pass you on your left, and when I did it, I would salute you, like, because we're walking in the same direction. I'd be like, "By your lead, sir." Mm-hmm. And then, like, if you told me to like step back, I would have to like drop my salute and then like walk to the left of you for the entire time at your pace.
Yeah. Because
you told me to do it, because I can't pass you. Like, there are procedures mm-hmm. that the normal like civilian doesn't understand.
Yep. Yeah, all that left side type of stuff. It can get confusing sometimes when you're walking in like strange spaces, and then you got to move and shift. And then even the officer or the superior officer isn't even necessarily knows which way is which all the time, because everybody gets confused.
Well, that's why I always love the fact that everybody had their name on their fucking uniform, because I suck at names, man. I took the Dale Carnegie course to be able to remember people's names, and all I remember is Dale Carnegie's name.
Yeah. I think it's How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Dude, he was bigger than the Rockefellers, if you want to know about
it. I don't know how much bigger, but
Carnegie Hall.
No, I mean, I know the Carnegie was huge, but I think his greatest achievement was, didn't he build like hundreds of libraries around the country?
Cardi is like, probably one of the most influential Americans since, Elon Musk.
He made it in steel, right?
I don't know. Well, he was multifaceted because like a lot of his stuff was like him being like Marcus Aurelius and putting out meditations because he started the Dale Carnegie courses. Like in order to be an influential human being, like he was Marcus Aurelius. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I might be wrong, but in my mind, that's what I've always thought of him as.
Yeah, that's the way I've always thought of him too. Is that he was a great industrialist who wanted to help and save his people.
Mm-hmm. He imparted a lot of knowledge. I mean, and that has helped America grow to what America is now, is because people will, give forth with their knowledge. That's what I love about Tesla, because they're an open platform. Like they're like, hey, we're an electric company. If you want to do what we do it. here's the intel. I mean, you don't have to do espionage to find out what we're doing. We'll give it to you. Yeah. What do you think about what's going on politically with Trump?
I think everybody is like last night. I was making fun of people because people just have Trump derangement syndrome and they can't stop talking about him, and it's to their detriment. It's crazy. I'm like, you guys are crazy. You can't stop talking about this guy. You're talking about the airplane, from Cotter, and I'm like, you're all pathetic. Like, this is such a waste of time. Like, get a fucking life.
I've been to Kitover. And I love going to, you can call it Qatar or Qatar or Qatar, but when I came from Iraq and went there, and all my friends that were in Qatar they were like, hey, Qatar. I'm like, no, it's not Qatar, no, Qatar. I mean, so it depends on how you know what you fucking know.
Mm-hmm.
And I give a zero fucks about all that bullshit. I like the idea that he's doing the Middle East trip and that he released some sanctions against Syria yesterday. So I mean, and that's actually the ISIS that took over Mosul, and they got their ass kicked and pushed back to Syria. But then they went down and dethroned al-Assad
mm-hmm.
in Damascus. I mean, and he's releasing sanctions on them, and they're actually a caliphate government.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's a lot of really crazy shit going on in political geocide.
Yeah, the caliphate is a problem, but the fact is Trump is with the Saudis, which is an Islamic caliphate kingdom. I mean, people in America got sour grapes. Everybody here who, talks about reparations and shit like that or hates Israel, everybody has sour grapes. So and then it's like, don't you realize that you live in basically a republic? See, that's the problem, is people don't even know that this is a republic. I was listening to Alan Watts last night talk about
to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for whom? All.
What did Chris say? Diego kicked him because I associate with Abby because of Noel little Nazi mutts. Yeah, Diego's been kicking me from his rooms. He's such a loser, to tell you the truth.
Dude, Diego kicked me the other day because I capped back against him.
He's so lame. It's like, he's got a wife, or supposedly a wife, but he's got kids. It's like, you have kids and you're here all day long.
And a side chick, apparently.
Yeah, right. I bet you Nora didn't even fuck him. Which is the funniest thing. He's like such a an incel, technically. See, he's so stupid. When I told him that I was running for Congress, he was like, "Fuck, I should run for Congress," and he's right. He should run for Congress, but he's too stupid. He's just here talking all the time about J words all the time. It's like a
Dude,
mental. It's a
the only
derangement
reason I don't run for Congress again is because I'm too damn drunk.
syndrome. I know. That's the problem. Is you have to.
Well, my mom wanted me to be a politician when I got out of the army,
Mhm.
and she shoved me into it, and that's really when I became an alcoholic, because she wouldn't let me deal with all the bullshit that I just went through, and like she wanted me to become, JFK, like, and she saw me as her pony star.
Well, you wouldn't be an alcoholic or a drunk or a heavy drinker if your environment was modified. Like if I were to like send you on a all expense paid vacation where there was no alcohol, like if I sent you to an Islamic country, put you at the
Oh,
beach, you'd
I would,
after
dude,
like
if you sent me dude, I would go to the UAE. The problem is you're allowed to drink alcohol in the UAE.
well, anyways, what I'm saying
I
is
if you send
environment
me to Saudi
matters.
Arabia, I mean, I, actually, I've been there too many times. I don't want to go back again.
I'm just saying environment pretty much dictates consumption.
Uh, yeah, I allow myself to do this. This is the path of least resistance for me.
Yeah, that's the problem. But it's really just behavior sciences, but like also environmental factors. That's the one thing that psychologists and psychiatrists can't actually change for patients, which is the environmental factors.
Well, how do you change society?
You change it by changing yourself. If you want to improve the world, you have to improve
Well,
yourself.
if you can get a person to perceive themselves before society, and it's a matter of perspective from like one's own understanding, I would agree.
How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Yeah.
We're good. This is the Brain Rot Room. Welcome, Dr. Baby.
Yeah, we're talking a lot. That's why it's a rot.
Yeah, I heard y'all not talking about that.
No. Baby
So
Steve.
what alcoholic?
Oh, I'm definitely the biggest alcoholic in the whole room.
Man, you gotta fix that, yo.
Well, that's what she said?
I don't know what the fuck she said, but that alcoholism, that shit ain't no joke.
Yeah, well, man, welcome to dumb kid's life.
Well, it's not stupid. Alcohol puts you in technically a Zen state, which is called torpor or torpor. So it's a desired state because the thing is, you can get the same effect just by going to the gym. But then, see, there's nothing wrong with alcohol. I mean, the question is, how much are you abusing it? And
Exactly.
doctor here abuses it heavily, but he doesn't mix it with any type of kickback. Meaning, like, if you're gonna drink, smoke a joint, and read a book, and the cognitive damage, because alcohol shrinks your brain and makes you stupid. So this is why Jews drink wine and read books. That's the difference. Is a lot of people just don't read anything, therefore they don't create any more wrinkles in their brains, so their brains just shrink. And thus, why in a few minutes.
Einstein had one of the smallest brains in history.
Do you know what the smartest thing to ever come out of a woman's mouth is?
My cum.
Einstein's dick.
Do y'all think it's true? They said the smartest people have like the smallest peckers and shit.
Well, it's a grower, not a shower. I don't give a fuck. Dude, when I go into the shower with you in the army and there's 60 of us in a fucking shower, do you think I'm looking at your dick? Oh, damn.
That's why I kind of
Why you look? Why you? My question is, why you looking at my
American
dick?
forced to kind of be gay. If y'all know what goes in the locker room, it's some of the most erotic type.
You're in the Matrix, and your boost bubble sounds like it ran out of minutes.
But them locker rooms, this gay is fucking those.
So, NDAA, not National Defense Authorization Act. You know, the ability. You know, that's them. You know, that's the one thing that's been bipartisan that goes through the middle of the night that people don't even realize that, you know, Senate and, you know, House actually, like, pass it through every time without even hesitation.
Yeah. The National Surveillance Act as well. Darren LaHood had this roundtable conference where he was saying that I'm pretty sure it's gonna pass. And so basically, you know, I am gonna read the Constitution soon from cover to cover, and then basically everything that's outside of the scope of the Constitution is essentially.
If you're gonna start a new like account just for that,
No.
I'll do it like we did when you and I did the what was that voting machine from Brazil? It was a voting machine for Brazil.
No, that was
South America
that was George Soros's Dominion voting systems.
Dominion, yeah, because you and I went through the whole manual.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy?
And I was trying to figure out, like, you were like, you know, you put card A into slot B in order to do this thing, and I'm like, and like it connects to the cell towers. I'm like I'm thinking of like every time you were doing this, I'm like, oh my god, you know how many points of error I could just like hack that shit.
I know. It's fucking. The public doesn't know anything. The public is just watching Netflix or Hulu or Paramount or ABC, CBS, NBC stuff. Like the public. See, this is the thing about this communication, is that this clown house communication is like talk radio, but where everybody can participate. So we have a new type of communication that hasn't really existed before, and it should imply that the people should be able to organize subversively against the powers that are essentially trapping them in property taxes, income taxes. America has to liberate itself. The standard of living here has plummeted, and you can just see when Trump goes to these countries. Do you know how rich these fuckers are? The standard of living that they have compared to ours, it's unbelievable.
Opulent.
Opulence. Yeah. Everything is brand new construction. Everything. Here, we're dealing with millions of homeless people in the street. The government gives them, you know, drugs, essentially. I mean, you know, I asked my dad one time, I was like, how do we solve the homelessness problem? He's like, honestly, you just round them up and put them in work camps. I'm like, maybe that's not the worst idea in the world.
Dude, your dad and my dad would have been friends. Like, I'm serious.
Y'all agree with that bullshit? What the fuck?
Dude. Well, you've never done anything more than you've done for yourself.
That's not curing homeless.
Have you ever done anything more?
That's not.
I asked you a question.
And you said that is the reason you drink alcohol, so I wouldn't take that.
I'm asking you a question, sir.
Well, ask the question. Go ahead. Ask the question.
Have you ever done anything for yourself that was more than yourself? And if you have, please tell me how you did it.
Yes, I have. I masturbated.
That sounds like narcissistic selfishness right there.
I don't hear it. I'm sorry, I just don't hear it.
Well, man, it sounds like you need to open your ears and stop talking.
You just said put some homeless people in a fucking work camp is how to cure homelessness. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
We're talking about the fact that some people want some new options and some change, and there's a lot of homeless people that would be willing to give up the street life for a fucking work site and a campsite to, you know, get food, get money.
A pathway to success.
Success in
Like,
your way of success?
dude, at the end of the day, all any human man or woman wants is to feel useful. And like, if you can give them the usefulness of their
That's
life,
not true. Some people will rather just sit in the corner on a dirty street and smoke their fucking crack and drink their alcohol, and they'll be accomplished in life.
well, those are the people that can't deal with reality, and that's why they're having to deal with chemicals in order to like subsidize their life.
No, they can't deal with reality. They just know what they want, and they satisfied in life with it.
Yeah.
Well, and
Some people are.
Their idea of
Same
reality
way
is
that
not
your
their
accomplishment is like
idea of
sitting in a
reality. Their idea of reality. Why are you over talking me? Why are you over talking me? Their idea of reality is not dealing with reality. It's like taking a drug in order to be able to dismiss the reality that they're living in, and that's why they live like on the streets as a bum, because they can't deal with the reality that they're stuck in.
That's real reality right there. When you gotta sit on the motherfucking
Ninja, please. You got me fucked
that's
up.
real reality.
Done with that brain rat shit, eh? Okay, we're gonna read what's called a book.